But yes, please introduce yourself and the role that you played.
I'm Brenda, and I played. Did she even have a name?
No,
I'm not aware of the name of the character that I played, but the woman who gets followed home, and that's pretty much it.
My name's Bob, and I was cast as the homicidal stalker, and I was not typecasted.
Though he did feel the need to clarify that, so do with that
one. Did you guys know what you were getting into when you got the role?
Kind of, I guess. Nolan told me the plot, which is basically can be summed up in like 2 sentences. So I was like, I think my first thought was, good for her. So
the script that I was emailed was very succinct and to the point, and so it was easy for me to get a good grasp of it. And so feeling that I didn't have to do too much, it didn't seem very intimidating. And then even with the more action roles that I had to do with it, it still didn't seem near as like scary as I could have imagined. So I was really looking forward to it.
So, what's your guys' acting experience like? Have you ever done anything film-wise, or have you guys done theater, stage productions, that kind of stuff?
I did a little bit of theater in like 8th and 9th grade, and then stopped. But then I was in like choir all through high school. That's really it. My mom was really into acting, and I did. So it was mostly in like middle school that I did stuff. I was in a couple of plays and like pageants and stuff. But after that, not really anything else.
My whole acting thing started in high school. I did a couple of the drama plays that was at the school, and then went cold for quite a while, but then my friends got me into Beale Street Theater, and so I've done quite a few things with them. I was a part of a musical. I've directed a couple of plays, and also actually been in one of the headliners for main characters for a play. That was a lot of fun, but this is actually my first time with film, which I was super nervous to do because in high school, I remember they used to film us sometimes just like try and get our feet wet, and I would just always be like the whole time, and I couldn't help it. And so granted that this this movie deal had like none of my face shots, I was like, I'm okay with this.
Right. I know as we were filming, every time I looked at the camera, I was like, crap. It's like, we gotta redo it. I looked
bad,
at the
Brenda,
camera.
bad. That's what I kept saying to myself.
So I guess with that being said, have you guys ever done anything like towards the, I don't really want to say horror genre, but like the thriller kind of spooky
I can see this as a horror film, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to unnerve you the whole time.
Yeah.
I did for in college a couple years ago, like my first or second year of college, I took like an intro to cinema class, and they had us do a short film for like our final. And the group I was in, the one guy like that was in charge was like super into it, and he was like, we're gonna go out to the Wallabies and like film a scary movie. And that was honestly pretty fun, and they had like blood and stuff, and it was whatever, but it's very like watching it now, it's very cringy, but I laugh at it. But I guess I did kind of have some experience, because I remember like me and this other guy were supposed to like stand way far off in the woods at night and like scream while they're like filming other people over there, and so like that was kind of freaky because we're just like standing out there in the dark at night, like like screaming at each other, and it was
Well, now that this is jogging my memory, I totally lied about actually ever being in a film, because in one of my English classes we had to do a thing where we had to explain MLA format. And so luckily the group that I was with were super creative film guys, and we went out and we made this film called Emma Later. I guess it's still out on YouTube, but I play a teacher.
Link it.
Yeah, right here. And I played a teacher, which I would end up becoming later on, who the kids go out to a party in Wallapies, and supposedly he's killing them all and leaving hints of how to format their papers, like written in blood on the walls and stuff like that. So that's the closest I've ever done to like a villain or horror role. So when I heard that this was a villain role, I definitely jumped at it.
So, as movie watchers, I suppose, do you have a favorite subgenre of scary movies, like horror, thriller, supernatural, murderous, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I'm into all of those actually. So I don't know. I like lately we've been trying to watch. We have a whiteboard of like a list of movies to go down, and we just added a bunch that are like mind benders or like psychological thrillers. So those are on my mind lately. But yeah, I just like horror movies.
I've usually always been a real big wimp at horror movies. Like, I still remember the time I totally ditched my sister while we were watching The Ring and left her alone at the very last scary part. I was like, peace. And so that's how I always was for a very long time with horror movies. But the ones that I started really getting into were sci-fi horrors. Alien, Event Horizon, Pandorum. Those things really started getting my feet wet. So now there's some scary movies that come out, and I am intrigued and I go and watch them. But it's like Saw and a lot of the gory stuff. I'm not here for that. I'm sorry.
I had to grow into those as well. I think I watched Paranormal Activity, was one of like the first ones I watched.
I remember that.
And my dad was always like freaked out by it, and so when I like wasn't freaked out by it, I felt cool. And I was like, oh, I love scary movies. I can totally watch scary movies. So, and then now it's just, I'll like get scared, and I like when I get scared of them, and like you can ask Nolan, but like I'll like get scared and like cry, but I'm like, I love it, like that was awesome. It's like an adrenaline thing.
What was it like working with like the fake blood, and for you having the makeup and like the latex and all that, the scar wax?
The most interesting part was not seeing any of it the whole time. I couldn't look at my neck, obviously. I wasn't like trying to check myself out. And so I was like, I kind of wanted to leave it the mystery. I wanted to see what it's going to see like on film rather than inspecting it for what it looked like later on. And so the fake blood, I was amazed that it came off my clothes, because I'd come home and it'd be all over, and I'd be like, this shirt's mine. That's what it is. And I'd put it through the wash, and all of a sudden it just came out, and I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. I'll wear this for the second film.
He would leave set just right as soon as we were done, because we'd always do the blood at the last scene, and he would just leave like, okay guys, I'm leaving, and we're like, don't get pulled over, like just walking down the street in the middle of the night covered in blood.
I know, I should have definitely gone through a drive-through and be like, could I have a soda, please? I'm a little thirsty. That would have been really funny.
Oh, man. It was fun. We had like the big bowl of blood afterwards, and we were like sticking our hand in it. It was a good time. It felt really cool.
Definitely Lady Macbeth stuff. Like I was a little freaked out. And then tasting the blood, it was like a sweet, but then when I'd have to hold it in my mouth for a long time, and you're just like, you're just feeling it swish around. It's like, this ain't burr, and then finally when she's like, all right, spit it out now, I'm like, yes, like, yes. So
she really didn't need you to hold it in your mouth. She just wanted that effect of you like projectile spinning it out.
I felt great like directorship. Directorship for sure.
Was it challenging to work with like little to no script / dialogue, and if so, like what was like the hardest part? No.
Honestly, I think that's what made it easier, and I even like said that a couple times where I'm like, man, all I have to do is like look pretty and like turn around when she tells me to, and like that's it. And it's like, if there was dialogue, I feel like it would have made it a lot harder. And then I think having like with you, Mia, you had pretty like short scenes, like short segments, and I think that made it a lot easier too. Like there weren't really like super long shots.
Oh no, I completely agree. Like if you think about it, like we didn't have to do a whole lot of prepping, no rehearsal, and so we were just able to go right into it, slam bam, the short shots with like walk this far, like I can do that. Take this flower. Guess what? I can do that. So
I don't know if I'm just really good, but like it was easy.
It's probably the former there. Yeah, you're just very good. Yeah.
Would you say you're anything like your character?
What? What's with that here? Okay.
I mean, I think I was a little bit like my character. I don't know if I could ever like kill anybody, but like she was a pretty girl walking home and good on her. Good for her. In this day and age, like there's all these like self-defense keychains and stuff, and I was like, I gotta give me one of these. This is creepy. Like it happens, so I'm like, yeah.
So I've never picked a flower and saying she loves me not. You know, she loves me. She loves Jerry. She loves Derek. You know, I've never done that. So, and I've never stalked anybody. For real. Okay. And I've never wanted to kill anybody, despite how much I loved them. Didn't want to kill them. And so, no. I felt completely nervous being out in a trench coat in a park with all these people around as I'm following this girl, you know, and I was just like, oh, yeah. So, no.
Awesome.
It did feel kind of funny, like every now and then I'd see people looking and I was like, oh yeah, I'm in like a full-on like period piece. Like, I just looked like my husband's at war and I gotta go support myself, you know, like.
I know
it's
he's
just
at
such
war.
a fitting. It's just such a fitting dress that, like, yeah.
What was your favorite part of the whole process?
I think my favorite. It was one of like the first shots we did on the staircase, and I did like the turn around in the sun. And then everybody was just like, "Oh my God, Brenda, you did so good! Oh, this looks so good! I'm so excited!" And Mia did a little squeal, and I was just like, "Thanks." So I don't know. You just made me feel good and talented, and that was fun.
I still love that shot.
I know,
It's still
so
my
I'm
favorite
just like,
shot.
yeah.
I'd have to say the first night that we did the action of the throat, I felt, because that was my first time ever doing anything, any that type of makeup or anything. So I was definitely just getting into a whole new thing, whole new world of like the makeup and the blood and stuff. I've never worked with anything like that. And so that was really fun, and trying to act out dying and wondering if I kept thinking in my head was like, I could feel like my buddies like, would they believe it? Like, am I acting good enough?
Right.
Or my buddies, or I could feel like my buddies be like, nah, things don't die like that. And I'll be like, yeah. So I was trying to like be on my A game as far as acting like I'm dying. And so that was just, it was really fun because it was new and it was challenging.
What was the overall most difficult part?
Also dying, I think. I don't know, killing you was weird, especially because like as soon as I got comfortable I ended up facing the knife the wrong way. And Bob was like, I guess the right way, but the wrong way because you gotta hold it backwards. And I was like, oh my god, and then I was nervous again after that.
I did freak out too much. I should have stayed calm and just be like, it's just a blade, it's whatever.
It was all good.
Just a blade.
I was just like, oh yeah. I was like all trying to focus on like the arm movement and getting behind, and then I was like, oh wait a minute, this knife is too comfortable in my hand. Maybe I do feel like my character.
Most challenging is after I died and trying to stay still. I could not do that for the life of me. I would feel like I'd keep my eyes open And I'm like, okay, just breathe real slow, make sure your belly doesn't move, nothing, and stuff like that. And then it's like I knew right when Nolan would put the camera on me, I go, and so I was like, well, that's not dead. And so that being dead was the hardest part. Dying, that's easy, but being dead is hard.
So now, having seen about a little over 3/4, I guess, of the unedited film, how do you feel? Are you excited for it to come out?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of selfish, but I was like, damn.
No, yeah.
That was it.
No, I'm definitely excited.
Alrighty, well, do you have anything else to add or anything you'd like to say to the audience?
I'm not being paid by Mountain Dew to. I'm just kidding. To sell this product. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Can you hold the Coca-Cola bottle up higher, please? Yeah, thank you.
It's got to be in frame.
That's good.
Actively
Perfect.
enjoying it a little bit more.
Okay.
No,
You probably should answer.
I'm excited to see it. I think I was with my sister today, and I think she had thought it had already come out because she was like, "Oh crap, I gotta go watch it." And I'm like, "No, it's okay, it's not out yet. You have more time." But I'm just excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited too, especially because this is a all local project, and to see so many different talents come together in Kingman, it's something really exciting, and I think this will be, if not like the start of more projects like this, where people in Kingman and surrounding areas are going to put together some really amazing stuff. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys, and goodbye.